for Wiggins, and the shot profile is much more of what head coach Ryan Saunders wants. More looks at the rim, and from three is George.
Yeah, the big challenge right here is can Minnesota defend? They lost 6 in a row now, giving up 128 points a game.
Leonard muscles in and finesses his way at the finish.
If you're coaching against Minnesota.
George thought about it. Using the Zubac screen. Will pull up and hit from three.
Well, we told you now, he attempts.
Here is Leonard with a whole lot of time and space, and he connects from three.
On these misses, and then get fouled and get the potential three-point play.
George, step back jumper is good. The duo of Leonard and George have it going on in the first. So far this year, the Clippers 8-2 when both George and Leonard are in the lineup together. George connects on a three. What a show.
Well, you look at them defensively now. You know, they score 115, give up 107.
For the Clippers, dealing with a sore calf. But Doc Rivers said Harrell has really developed this season without Lou Will, and that time sets the screen for Leonard. Timberwolves 7-6 on the road this season. They are just 3-8 at home. As George hits from three, 15 points for Paul George. 4 of 6 from the floor. He's 5 of 5 from the line. As George hesitates and flips it in. And Jang, really no resistance at the end of that. 2 fouls on Gorgie Jang. George again, no resistance, right to the rim. George has found a lot of space. Runways to the rim for Paul George, who's putting on a first-half show. When I FaceTimed him after the game, he was just so shocked he couldn't even say the words 100. He was just smiling. No words were coming out. As George now has 21 points in this first half.
I mean, so you got to pay attention there. I mean, come on now.
All the way in, Leonard lays it home.
Now watch this guy. This guy's taking it, and he can finish with either hand.
Leonard sizing up the rookie Culver, using the Zubac screen. Leonard methodical, faking, taking, hitting, plus the foul.
He lets the defensive guy get him. Now watch, there's your fake. Now I do a crossover right in your face.
George back in. George right to his spot. Boom.
There it is.
Leonard has 25 in the half, looking for more and finding it.
Yeah, but he went strong, but I was surprised that at that angle you got to play the board. You have to play the board.
George, catch, fire, and hit from three. Minnesota trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. Only New Orleans with a longer active losing streak. They've lost 11 as George, again, exactly what you diagrammed at the half.
So that they cannot turn the corner and get that 10 to 12-foot jump shot.
George up, under, and in. Timeout, Minnesota. George and Leonard have both topped the 30-point mark now. George, free release right to the rim, 33 for Paul George.
Latiga's come in and has done a nice job. He's given him 8 points, and he has a couple of, 4 assists or 3 assists.
George hits the three, and the foul is called. Here's George, his three. You bet. Paul George with 39 points, his 6th triple of the night.
Just keep an eye on this now. Watch what happens here. Once he comes over, see if you're not going to challenge.
In this recent stretch, Minnesota has lost 6 straight entering this one and allowing 128 points a game during that stretch. As Paul George has topped the 40 spot. 41 points tonight for George, a season high.
The idea was excellent.
Leonard with a lot of space. Gets it back. Thought about the three, now takes and hits. Kawhi Leonard, a 40-point game.
They hesitated to go on the double team that opened up the cutter who made the pass. The old story at the playground, pass and cut.
George lays it home.
Oh, big basket.
44 for Paul George, and a timeout taken by Minnesota. Huge performances from the Stars tonight as Leonard and George combined for 88 points in a 124-117.
Thanks Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.